Hey guys, I just got in from the garden. I shouldn't actually have been out at this time of day because I have been getting stung so much by wasps. But I don't think anybody else is talking about this in regards to our food supply. Obviously, number one, this is non-toxic home. Okay. I don't have a copy in here with me, but my book Poisoned, Filled by Western Medicine, Modern Construction, and Corporate Interests. That's pretty explanatory. Right there. Yeah, I trusted the experts. I believed Uncle Sam and the governmental regulating agencies had my best interest at heart, and it nearly killed me. It nearly killed me hundreds of times because I used hundreds of EpiPens, and today I'm completely screwed. I haven't been able to leave our property since June of 2019. Before that, I left about once a month for a couple years or so. So I obviously do not approve of stratospheric injection. I obviously do not approve of the impact that non-native EMFs have. If you can do it with chemicals, you can do it with non-native EMFs. You can do it with non-native EMFs, you can do it with chemicals. And humans aren't the only biological organisms impacted here. Beekeepers have been sounding the alarm regarding cell towers for decades. What do we have now? We have cell towers every block in cities. And here in the country, there's still plenty of cell towers, and you got cell towers in the sky now because, you know, we need to really stream nature documentaries while being in nature. Sorry, I'm a bit frustrated today. The chemicals and the non-native EMFs aren't just impacting humans. It's not just impacting pollinators. It's not just impacting wasps, which apparently want to kill me now. It's impacting wildlife as a whole. I just saw, just now, a groundhog. Fat dude. I've literally never seen a groundhog in person ever in the wild. I've lived in a woods since 2014. I grew up in the country, but I've never seen a groundhog just in the wild in person ever. And that's just despite spending a lot of time outside. We live in a woods. If you're new here, we've got a 6-acre-ish woods here. And everything's eating my garden. My food supply is my garden, okay? 80% or so of what I eat, and maybe 25% or so, maybe 20 to 25% of what my husband eats, I produce or forage for, okay? It's very important. I'm not the only person having these problems. The wildlife is off the chain. The wildlife is insane. Raccoons, you're just in everything. Raccoons are eating everything. Deer, we have an 8 to 10 foot fence around our freaking garden. Deer have been digging under. They've been pushing the things, pushing the fence. They have been jumping the freaking fence at the 10-foot line. I am doing everything I can think of. I have tried repellents in past years. I've tried fox urine. I've tried coyote urine. I've tried bobcat urine. I've tried human urine. I've tried cayenne pepper. I've tried garlic. I've tried Dawn dish soap, even though I don't actually recommend Dawn dish soap, but I've tried all of these things. I just now put, one thing I hadn't tried was bird netting. So I just now put bird netting out. pumpkins and my winter squash, here's my hair thing. My winter squash is so important. Butternut squash and pumpkin. And everything is eating it. Voles. I'm having problems with voles too. Maybe chipmunks. I hope not chipmunks. I don't think chipmunks because my cat used to hunt them a lot. My cat's impacted too. She's sick. She's been sick for almost a year now. I'm not the only person having these problems, and it's worse and worse every year as to the wildlife eating the plants. So there's that, okay? As far as I know, no one is saying this is going to impact our food supply, because this is a problem for farmers too. This is a problem for market gardeners too. Another thing that I don't think people are talking about in regards to the food supply is the toxic rain, is the desiccants in the air. Are the desiccants. Proper verb terminology is important. Or proper verb usage is important. My wild blackberries this year, I thought I would get, I'm very grateful for what I got. Please don't misunderstand me. I am so grateful to have a place to live. I am so grateful to have a garden. I am so grateful. Well, of course, number one, gratitude is right up there. Number one, always. Otherwise, I would be completely losing my mind. Completely gone. I would not be smiling and laughing. Because I know everything has a reason, everything has a purpose. There's a reason for everything under the sun. Oh, for the elect's sake, the time is just speeding by. Okay. The desiccants in the air, they're being sprayed in the air, stratospheric injection. Go Google stratospheric injection if you don't know what I'm talking about here. They don't just stay in the air. When it rains, it comes down to the soil. And it lands on the plants as well. And it dries out the plant's leaves. And the plants think they're in a drought. It dries out the soil. The other day we got, I think, a couple inches of rain, probably. And I went out the next morning and the soil was bone dry. I have rain barrels outside. Do I use them? I mean, like, do I use that? Because here's the thing. Whatever is falling is going to be in those rain barrels. Those rain barrel, that so-called water, is going to be full of desiccants and all the junk that's in the air. But at the same time, I don't have a hose. I don't have an outdoor spigot. They both broke because that's how things are designed today. We had 2 outdoor spigots and they both broke. One of them was the fault of another contractor years ago, but anyways. I can't haul that kind of water from in the house. I can barely haul it once a week even from the rain barrels to the garden. Our food supply is going to be completely decimated. Like I said, I'm not the only person having these problems. I've been sharing in my newsletter online in particular in recent years about market gardeners who are going out of business. There were, I can name 1, 2, 3, 4 off the top of my head. 4, just off the top of my head. Market gardeners here in Indiana that have gone out of business. One of them, I know they've been on the verge for two years, maybe 3 years. Another one shared with me that she's up near Alexandria, Indiana. She shared with, just an amazing woman, but she shared with me that, I don't remember, was it 2 years ago, I think, when there was the first year that there was a whole lot of Canadian wildfire smoke, and people were, like, here in Indiana, the farmers and market gardeners were concerned about tomatoes because tomatoes weren't ripening, which is why I grow cherry tomatoes primarily, by the way. She said that year, which is 2 or 3 years ago, the Canadian wildfire smoke caused so much cloud cover that all of her watermelon ripened at the same time. She had to donate almost all of it, and they were on the verge that year. They're still in business, but I buy from Market Wagon, which you might, if you're in Indiana, they're in other states as well. I will link to them below. I don't know, I think it might get me $10 off or something. I don't even remember. I don't know. But you may be able to actually get some real food, chemical-free produce for cheaper than at your grocery store. And then you'll actually be supporting local farmers too. This is the DIY electrolyte drink, by the way, that I shared about in my recent non-toxic home Q&A, which I'll link to. Desiccants in the air make me thirsty all the time. My cat is thirsty all the time. She's dehydrated a lot. I give her homemade food. You know, she's chemically sensitive as well. She's impacted by everything that I'm impacted by. Just insane. Everything's eating my garden. I've had insect problems in the past 5 years, starting in 2020. What a shocker. See my prophecy videos. I've had insect problems, and I've literally never seen these insects before in my entire life, and I've had them, you know. Oh, here's a weird thing. And this just happened this week. My pole beans, usually when you plant beans, one of the biggest risks is a cutworm. And a cutworm, basically what it does, it's just like it sounds. It comes up, it gets on the stem, like here's the stem, and it wraps itself around the stem and it cuts it. I don't know why the heck they do it, and I don't know what the purpose of them is in nature, but I hate them. And I had them in the past in the main garden, but I hadn't had them on the south side garden, which the south side garden isn't the real garden. It's more like an overflow garden. But the overflow garden may be what I actually get food out of in regards to my winter squash this year, God willing. But cutworms are getting my beans that are fully mature. I mean, these are beans that have, I don't know, 20 feet of vine, and they're going up the stem and cutting them off. And I've never had that on mature pole beans, cutworms. It's never been a problem before. You know, one thing that I seem to have addressed years ago was bunnies. We tried free-range rabbits. That didn't work well. I'll link to the extensive article on livestock, that it's a members only article on livestock, because chickens, everything wants to eat your chickens. That's a standard thing. But I don't have chickens anymore, partially because everything wanted to eat my chickens. You know, it is just traumatizing sometimes. To have your flock wiped out just in 10 minutes from a fox. Because what foxes do is they run around, and sometimes they hunt in packs, like 2 or 3. They are wily like a fox, cunning like a fox. That's a phrase those are phrases that are commonly spoken for a reason. And they will trap chickens. You know, you can sit there with your gummy bear, pew pew pew, and go in and go to the. One time I was sitting there all day long, and I went in at like 2 p.m. and went to the bathroom and came back out, and they had wiped my flock out. Yeah, super awesome. They run around and they just break the necks of all of the chickens. And that's what foxes do. Obviously, farmers, you know, of chickens have more advanced sort of things. But Yeah, I don't have chickens anymore. Partly because of that, partly because of my health issues this year. Going outside on the, because I have to go outside on the weekends to take care of them typically. And some of the time on the weekends, I open the door and my throat slammed shut on me. This year, 2025, I've had anaphylaxis more than I've had in recent years. Probably in the past, I've had my throat close on me here in 2025 probably more times than I've had combined in the previous 4 years. I don't know why specifically. Sometimes the thing is that it just happens. Sometimes, and I have my suspicions, TI, but I don't know. The last time it happened, I was brushing my teeth here in the bathroom, and there is one window that I didn't have the aluminum window screen on, so I put the window screen on there. I put 2 layers on there. That seems to have helped. But sometimes just my throat just closes on me, and that's that. And it's one thing when my tools work. It's another thing when my tools don't, or they take a long time to work. And it's been a couple times this year where Dave came. Fortunately, Dave was home both those times, but he came over and held me as I tried to breathe. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of leaving him. Because this world is not for life anymore. This world now is for death. It is dying. I have videos up on there's one, the current state of nature. I'll link to that one. And then there's one, I went on a walk in the woods, took you in the walk in the woods. Our woods is dying. It's dying. The trees are dying. We get a rain and you expect the garden to pop back. And instead, 5 plants die. And the other ones look like they're dying of thirst. Plants are crying out. People are noticing that their garden, their plants are crying out. This year, 2025, is different. Obviously, 2020, I can't talk about these things without talking about prophecy. I'm sorry, those of you who that offends, but I just can't. Okay? Because prophecy tells us, pharmakia. Okay, go read my Revelation 18 article that's on the website. I'll link to it. Pharmakia isn't just pharmaceuticals. It's not just the medical industry. It includes chemicals. It includes non-native EMFs, which the primary driving force in regards to non-native EMFs today is radio frequencies, or are radio frequencies, whatever. It is radio frequency radiation. We're all dumber. We're all drugged. We're not the only ones being drugged. The wildlife's being drugged. The insects are being drugged. Our pets are being drugged. The plants are being drugged. The trees are being drugged. The bushes are being drugged. Even the grass. Even the grass. So there's this one kind of grass that grows, and I freaking hate it because it's sharp. And it grows, and if I like rub against it, even like through my shirt sometimes it will. Anyways, when it grows and it's not cut down, because we don't trim mow everywhere around here. Okay, we wild a lot of the area here that we cleared previously. And when it grows, I don't know, maybe 4 feet tall, I'm guessing. Maybe 3 feet tall, the actual grass, and then there's a shoot that comes off, and that produces seed. Now, I hate that thing. I hate that grass. And so years ago, I was working on pulling it out, and I was noticing all of the seed at the top of those, and I was going, oh no, I don't want more of that. So I was pulling it, and I was praying at the time. I hate these, God. Why do you make these? And I heard, or like I felt, I didn't hear. I'm not hearing voices. Okay, not hearing. You're welcome for the food. And I realized that the stalk is basically like an asparagus, and you can actually eat also grass seed, by the way, because it's basically a grain. This year though, and there's copious amounts of seed, but I just was looking at that today. Maybe it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And it's maybe 1/6, 1/5 of the normal amount of seed at the top of those. So even the grass isn't producing seed like previous. I've got butternut squash that they're saying they're done this big. This big? Yeah, we're done. Okay, butternut squash usually what? Yay big? This weird? Yeah, we're done. We're done this size. That's unheard of for me. Some of my tomatoes have spots on them, and I don't even know what that is from. I've never seen anything like that. It seems like every week or two since March of 2020, I find myself saying, well, I've never seen that before. That's never happened before. Well, that's a new one. And this impacts the food supply, you guys. Everything's being impacted. This entire world system is being run down. That's why everybody feels run down and trodden down. Trodden down, time of the Gentile, yeah. The temple, protect the temple. I'm sorry I'm a little bit everywhere right now, but I had to just share a bit about what's going on here in regards to all of these things, and in particular the animals and the food supply. I also need to find out whether groundhogs eat pumpkins and butternut squash, because maybe it's not raccoons getting in the garden. Maybe it's a groundhog. And also, is it legal to pew them? And then, if the answer is yes, because I've got 2 traps out now, so we'll see if I catch raccoons tonight. If I catch raccoons, then they will be free cat food. Okay. My cat loves raccoon meat. I'm a vegetarian, don't freak out. I hate killing animals. If it's me or them, it's gonna be them. Okay. If it's that raccoon or me eating, I'm gonna eat. So, and I mean, this is my food supply, you guys. If somebody was coming in, if somebody stole all of your money out of your bank account, would you just be like, okay, whatevs? Okay, so this is what's happening to me with my food supply. And we got this freaking fence, and the deer are jumping it. I think they're jumping it. I mean, I know they were getting through the gate, and I figured that out. And I know they were getting through, you know, a couple other spots, and I think I addressed those spots. But maybe it's just raccoon. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I set up a trail cam. So I got 2 things going tonight. I got set up a trail cam. Finally got that from Amazon. Ugh. We'll see how that goes. It was pretty cheap. It was less than 30 bucks. I'll link to it, but I haven't obviously used it yet. And then I've got 2 traps set for raccoons. Hopefully I don't catch any cats, because there are neighborhood cats that come through now and then. And hopefully I don't catch any possums either, because I like the possums. Possums don't mess with my stuff. Knock on wood. They are good little tick eaters though. I mean, I've got 5 acres, more than 5 acres, where the animals can eat anything they come upon. Just leave my gardens alone. You can even eat all of my oregano. that's planted outside of my garden. Just leave my gardens alone. You can eat all my Jerusalem artichokes, which are planted outside the garden. Jerusalem artichokes slash sunchokes, they just grow like weeds and they're amazing. I love those things. Love those things. They're great to ferment. You know, they seem to be doing well, but they should be flowering now. And they aren't flowering yet. I just realized that. Okay, so that's a little bit concerning that they aren't flowering yet. See? It's just constantly where I'm thinking and going, wait, this isn't normal in nature. That's not normal in nature. My wild blackberries, I can't believe I didn't get more. I can't believe I didn't get more from my wild blackberries this year. But there were 2 separate rains that just decimated them. They just went, okay, we're done. We're done here. Nothing more to eat here. And they were done. And then while I was picking wild blackberries this year, there's apparently a spot on our property now where I can't be, or my throat closes on me. I'm assuming it's EMF related, you know, mast cells, but I don't know for sure. It is just this one specific spot. It's literally maybe a 2-foot square spot. I went back there 2 other times. It was definitely the spot, but there's nothing vegetation-wise different there. So it almost has to be from that broken broadband coupler. Rural broadband is infrastructure for 5G. It's dual use too, by the way. And guess what? We have rural broadband. That's why I can't say a lot of words that other people can say. I think that's why. Well, obviously there's the protection. You know, I think he's protecting me. Everything for the hopeful elect, but it's a tough world. It's a tough world. Okay, so this is just nature. This isn't even talking about how insane people are. And you and I aren't the only ones noticing this. Okay, so if you are, how do I say this? Still a human? You are noticing the shift in humanity. And it is not good. It is not good at all. We got people with doctoral degrees who could barely write a sentence. I mean, it's one thing if you're getting older, if it's, you know, I understand there are reasons in some cases, but I'm talking about people have no memory. No memory. Not only that, their brains just make crap up. And they believe it. They don't even know that they're lying. That's what gets me. And I really believe this. There are quite a few people. They don't even know that they're lying. That's how evil they are. That's how gone they are. They're just gone. They're done. It's like living in a world of NPCs, non-player characters. It's a tough world. If you are single, especially if you're a single parent, man, my heart goes out to you. Ooh, my heart goes out to you. I am so beyond fortunate to have someone who's on the same journey that I am. My darling, Dave. But we have lost it this year a few times. I mean, we've had some yelling arguments over just nothing. Just nothing, you guys. Just nothing. This year. And everybody's feeling, I get it, everybody's feeling financial pressure. Everybody's feeling that. Well, not even everybody. Some people aren't. Some people aren't feeling it. I guarantee you. They probably aren't listening to this. But I know I said So last year, the year before, just in regards to the cognitive decline, how much longer can that last? How much longer can a society continue just with that? And then now we've got people forming militias and waiting. They're just waiting for everything to completely crash and fall apart for multiple reasons. One is obviously, you know, this is a wicked system of functionally it's a wicked system of slavery that we are all under, functionally speaking, if you really understand the roots of the system. But some of the most evil people are waiting for things to fall apart. It's going to be suddenly, so that they can just do the evil things that they think about doing, because they know they'll get away with it. And then some are just tired. They're just tired, and they're just done with this. They're just done. Spirit of the Egyptians has failed. The perverse spirit has been mingled in the midst thereof. Isaiah 19. It's happening. It's happening. And this year, specifically 2025, is different. I know everything started in 2020. This year it feels different. This year, 2025, time has really sped up this year. It started speeding up for me personally in 2020. I mean, I understand as you get older, time goes faster. That's not what I'm talking about. I get that. I'm not a spring chicken here. I'm not new here. But I'm talking about me at the end of the day going, what did I get done today? And it's not because I've sat and watched stupid videos all day. Even when I do listen to videos online, I'm washing dishes, I'm cooking squash, I'm making cat food, I'm cleaning the bathroom or whatever. I can't get done. Today, I can't get done in 14 hours what I was able to get done in 6 hours in 2021. Okay, there's something seriously wrong with that. And it's a problem for my husband as well, because he estimates how long things are going to take him to do, and it's not working. It's not working at all. So. Anyways, times are tough, things are crazy. Seek the Lord, or just, I don't know what to tell you if you aren't of my faith. But the fact is that I'm not a Christian. I do not say I am a Christian. I follow Yeshua, Yahweh Shai, he who is referred to as Jesus by most people. But I study the Hebrew and Greek, which tells me completely different things from what almost everybody believes. So I don't like to say that I'm a Christian because of that. Because my beliefs are fundamentally different. I'm living in a different world. And honestly, the people who have screwed us over the most spectacularly in the past 5 years, guess what they identify as? They love Jesus. No. The path is narrow. Ooh. I gotta agree with some people who are saying that they feel like something is coming. But I felt that is the feeling since 2020. And that is the feeling that that everyone is going to have until things are all said and done. For the elect's sake, this time shall be shortened. Hang in there, guys. Untoxic out.